Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the articulatory system. Okay, so the articulatory system is basically how we produce sounds when we speak. Okay, so speech sounds are made by moving air through the vocal tract. Okay, and we have at least five main articulators. Okay, when we speak, we use our tongue, okay? Because the tongue it changes position to form many different sounds, okay? We also use our lips, okay? We may not be aware of it, but our lips come together or round when we produce sounds like pa or ba, okay? As in baby, for example. We also use our teeth, okay? In sounds like when we say think, okay, or when we say father, or when we say I don't know, like thank you, okay, that's when we use our teeth and tongue. We also use our vocal cords, okay, which are essential to to speech, okay, because the vocal cords vibrate when we produce some sounds, not all of them, just a few of them, okay. For example, when we say zoo, okay, the vocal cords come together and they produce the vibration, okay. Then we have the soft palate of the volume, okay, which raises or lowers to allow air through nose or the mouth. And we also use our nasal cavity,
Butter, but she
okay.
said, this
Yes,
butter's
we may
bitter.
not be aware of
If I
it,
put it in my bat,
but we use our nasal cavity, our nose, basically, okay, because when we produce sounds like mum, okay, like the M sound, the air goes through the nose or the nasal cavity, okay. Some Here we have like a picture, a diagram of the articulator system, okay. uh we we see the vocal cords right here, and we have the tongue, we have the jaw, okay. We use the jaw when we speak, okay, but it's not one of the articulators. We have our lips, we have the teeth, the tongue, the nasal cavity, and then we have the alveolar ridge, which is right behind your teeth, okay. And then we have the soft palate, the hard palate, okay, because the tongue moves, okay, it goes up, it goes backward, it goes forward, okay. And okay, right now it's time to discuss a little bit of what is the IPA. Okay, IPA stands for International Phonetic Alphabet. Okay, there are, we can say, there are two different kind of IPAs. We have the American IPA and we have the British IPA. They're not the same. They're very similar, but they're not the same because the sounds are different. Okay, but what is it? What is the International Phonetic Alphabet? Okay, the IPA is a system of symbols. Okay, of the symbols that we use when we speak. Okay, it represents the sounds. Okay, so why do we need to know the IPA? Okay, it help us to see, okay, help us see how a word sounds, not how it's spelled, okay. This is not about spelling, this is about the sounds, okay. It also improves listening and pronunciation skills, okay, because we if we know how to produce a sound, then we'll be able to recognize the sound when we listen something, when we listen somebody, when we listen to a song, okay, when we are speaking
9
or
miles
having a
wide.
conversation.
Joe drove home slowly to
It's
watch a
also
show.
very useful when we look up words in dictionaries, okay, because when, yeah, dictionaries are great, the physical ones, the applications that we have on the phone. Um, but we usually use it when we want to know the meaning of a, a, a specific word. Okay, but if you go to a dictionary, you will see that in the in all the words, in each word that you that it's in it, you will see the phonetic transcription of the word. Why is that? Because that way we know how to produce the sounds, how to say it, okay, how to pronounce that word, okay, and also learning the International Phonetic Alphabet avoids confusion from strange English spelling rules. For example, when we
Water.
have these
Announce.
words which are very
Opportunity.
similar, but they're very different and they have different sounds. Okay? So, for example, is it the same as if I say though, then tough, then thought? It's not the same. Okay, so here we have uh, the IPA, which is a beautiful map. Um, we can identify three different sections, okay, in the IPA. The first one, which is the yellow part, okay, this I made this like it's not yellow, it's not pink in the original IPA. I just made it so you are able to see the
Bob had
differences.
a cup of coffee with cream and sugar.
In the yellow part, we have vowel sounds. Okay, it's important to understand that this is a pronunciation map. It's not about spelling. Okay, this is about sounds. These are sounds, not words. Okay, not letters. Okay, so in the yellow section, we have the vowel sounds. Okay, and these are monophthongs. Okay, monophthongs are just a single vowel. Okay, a single vowel sound. Then we have diphthongs, which is the pink section of the IPA, and diphthongs are two vowel sounds um together. Okay, so let's see. We have, for example, the E, we can say just the spelling is very similar to spelling the E sound, okay, in the second one, right here. And then we have a diphthong, which is like E, kind of. I'm just saying this so you're able to understand. Um, and we have these two, this diphthong, which are two monophthong sounds, two monophthongs vowel. Okay, the E symbol and the symbol. Okay, and then on the bottom section or the bottom part of the IPA, we have the consonant sounds. Okay, the blue sections are consonant sounds. Okay, some of these symbols are very similar to the spelling. Okay, as in P, B, T, D, F. Okay, but some of them are very different. Okay, like this kind of O with a line right in the middle. Okay,
We stayed in the hotel for
well,
7 nights.
we'll see them.